Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Greg. Welcome to the channel, greg.thunderwizard.com. If you're interested in getting a Thunder Astrology reading or a 12-house reading, and this is for Vedic astrology, which in my experience is way more accurate than Western astrology, because Vedic astrology is the stars that are right above your head at the time that you were born, and it goes by the sidereal zodiac. And Western astrology goes by the tropical one, which is it's off by 23 degrees, and it goes by the sun sign too. So Vedic astrology goes by your ascendant sign, which means the sign that's rising in the east at the time that you were born. And those change every 2 hours per day. So you're going to get a more pinpoint, accurate reading of your personality. And then I'm going to give you a mantra that's connected to a deity and a planet, and it's going to really empower you. It's going to really help to make way for spiritual energy to come into your body. And one of the things that happens is it starts to expose the things you got to work on. The psychological imbalances, the karmic issues, everything that's going on with that. You start becoming aware of these blockages, and you start feeling conflict. You start feeling that resistance within you. But the more you keep pursuing, the more stronger you get, and the more you can start getting over this. There's always a period of feeling really blocked. When I first started doing mine, that's what started happening. But I'm doing better now. We're always going to be dealing with our unconscious, the things that block us in life, our bad experiences, the things we stuff down into our unconscious. Those things surface in a way where we're not aware of what's blocking us. But we can become aware by doing these mantras. We can start becoming aware. We're empowering ourselves with the deity and with the planet. And basically, I'd look at your chart and I'd check out what's best for you, which deity and mantra is best for you based on your personal chart. And so this is going to really strengthen all 12 of your houses, all of the energies within you, and all the planets are going to be empowered by this reading that I gave you. So if anybody's interested, I'll leave the link on the bottom. But yeah, I wanted to be today talking about today is July 6, 2019. On July 4th and July 5th, right here in Southern California, we experienced 2 earthquakes. One on the 4th of July. I think that one was during the day. It's kind of slipping my mind already. But yeah, and then one last night too. It was around 8 o'clock, starting to get dark. We experienced another earthquake. Both of them were similar. It was like a rolling kind of a feeling. And I'm right here in the Los Angeles area, so it wasn't, I didn't feel the intensity of, I wasn't in the epicenter of it, but it was felt everywhere, from up to Sacramento all the way down to parts of Mexico. And they say some parts of Vegas too. So it was felt deeply. And man, it's a trip when you feel those. I mean, I've lived here all my life, so I've experienced a much stronger one. But the ones I was feeling, I was saying those rolling ones, you feel just how powerful Mother Earth is. You feel the foundation of our souls and just being shook. You get that, there's that feeling of a gut check, because everybody feels it when it happens. You get that feeling of death takes a little bit of a step closer to you, and you feel those instincts those survival instincts start kicking in, and your heart all of a sudden, you get a blast of waking up, and it's, I'm pretty comfortable with it. At the same time, it does get me a little, it wakes me up, but I don't feel much fear. I just feel like Mother Earth is releasing tension. She's got to release it from her body. There's an accumulation of energy. Those tectonic plates get stressed out over time. And they gotta move. They gotta ease the tension. She's got to do what she's got to do. Whether it's earthquakes, volcanoes, storms, tornadoes, all that stuff. She's got to do it. She's got to release that tension. So then there's she's got to do it. It doesn't matter that there's living life forms on her body. She's going to do it. She is a giant, She is a part of a greater gear in the universe, you know. And it makes us feel how small we really are, you know. And yeah, I remember back in when I was in high school, like it must have been 85 or 86, where there was an earthquake back then. That one was more like a jackhammer. It was really, really intense. It lasted for a good 20 seconds or something, but it was, and I was in school, and we all dropped to the floor like a mother. We had to get under the desks, and yeah, all of us, the whole school went to the track. All of us were there, and a lot of people were traumatized by the incident. There was a lot of ambulances coming, and people being taken away on the gurneys, and people getting oxygen. I remember seeing a lot of girls. There was a lot of girls. They were in shock a lot, crying, and yeah, it was a big one. Me and my friends were pretty comfortable. I mean, once we got into the track and we were all joking around or whatever, you know. We're like, hey, let's go into the bleachers and go smoke a joint, you know. That's who I was back then, you know. But yeah, a lot of what I think about those earthquakes now too, it has to do with us as human beings, that we're you know, we don't really experience the true nature of who we really are. You know, we're raised in a society to the last thing to close off our aura. You know, our spiritual energy is just completely plugged and stuffed down. You know, we're trained to hide our feelings in this society, especially men. But all of us do it, you know, where we're supposed to be, when we're out in society, we're supposed to always pretend like we're in a happy, good mood, you know. And that's not healthy, you know. When you're feeling some negative emotions, you got to feel them. You got to feel them, and you got to express them. You know, you don't want to bury that stuff down, because the more you do that, the more it accumulates. And like a pressure cooker, eventually you're going to blow up, you know. And if you keep stuffing it down for long periods of time, it stops the flow of energy in certain parts of the body, and you know, it might turn into a disease, or even backaches, or the allergies. Stuff like that is a result of being off balance, you know. And unfortunately, we're trained in this society to be that way. It's even the religions of today, the religions that are only 2,000 years old, the Christian, the Islamic, and the Judaism. I only have more experience with the Christian ones, growing up in a Catholic society, and the born-again Christians and all that. You know, it's the same thing in those religions. They don't really teach you how to open up, to expand your consciousness, you know, to really light up all of those energy centers within the spinal cord. You know, we want to get that Kundalini energy flowing. We're not trained to do that in Christianity, Christian-based religions. In fact, it's seen as being evil, you know, which is bullshit, you know. That whole, you know, I can't relate to that story that I was taught about the Adam and Eve being cast out of the garden because they ate of the tree of knowledge, you know. That's the whole point that we're down here, is to gain some knowledge, you know, to feel all of the available vibrations within the human body that we can feel, you know, because when we're born, we're feeling all of that. We're just primal energy. But as we're getting raised in this society, we're closing everything up, and pretty soon we're just nothing but intellect. You know, we're just in the brain. We're not using our mind for a good self-reflection. You know, this is what meditation's all about, that kind of stuff. You know, we're not having that good, healthy sense of ego that we're supposed to have. You know, we have those egos that are damaged. You know, especially when people have that false bravado. You know, they're trying to make up for a damaged ego, or they're trying to hide it from people, you know, by acting violent or angry, or, you know, or the other way of doing that is being overly nice, like I was saying before. You know, when you're faking it, when you're just trying to be super nice with people, and you want everybody to be all happy and, you know, all smiling, you know, all that, you know. When it's real, it's all good, you know, but when it's not real, you don't want to do that, you know. You want to express your feelings to somebody you trust, or just go into meditation and talk to the universe, because the universe listens too, you know. So we need that power in our life, um, you know, that element of earth is a good energy to take into the body, because the element of earth contains all of the other elements within it. You know, it's the most dense energy. One of the practices that I've learned from the Thunder Wizard of doing is the earth element, how to bring the earth element into the body. And you know, when you put all your fingers together like this, and you put this at your navel, you're basically you're bringing in all of the energies of the elements within your body, because the thumbs represent the earth, the index fingers represent the ether, the middle fingers represent air, the ring fingers represent fire, and the pinkies represent the water element. So when you're touching your hands like this, putting them together, and you're not really pressing hard, but you're kind of feeling that energy, that's the electricity that's going through them, and you got it by your navel, which is the will, represents the willpower, the lower self. You're empowering that energy. And you know, you're just doing some deep breathing, or you can do the sound of the earth in the Taoist religions is the HU, H-U-U-U, you know, who. You can do it in a soft voice, or you can do it silently in the mind. And the best way to do it is when you breathe out slowly through the nose and the mouth at the same time. It's really hard to do, but you can get used to it. Where you're just you're not making a sound, but you're kind of pronouncing the who silently in the mind, but you're breathing out slowly through the mouth and the nose. It really puts you into that altered state, and you got this hand mudra on your navel. You're really empowering yourself with that earth energy, and you'll feel it. Especially if you go out into nature and do this, it's even more powerful. When you're out there feeling the earth, Mother Earth's energy, and you know, you're feeling the wind. You're watching the wind move the branches and the trees, and you're hearing the sound, the rhythm of the birds, checking out whatever insects are flying by. Everything is all, you know, you begin to feel that communication with the earth when you could slow down your breathing and you get to that frequency of the calmness of nature. It's really empowering. If you can do it barefoot, it's even better. When you get that energy of the earth coming right through the soles of your feet, empowering you, it's really a good feeling. I love it. So yeah, you know, that disconnection that we all have is what we need to start bringing into our lives right now. You know, we want those resources to come into us, the resources of life force energy that's all around us at all times. You know, there are ways to bring it into our body. One of them is through that earth element and chanting that sound, who. You know, that really brings in that life force energy. Meditation, yoga, qigong, mantra. That's why that's one of the reasons why I like to give those mantra readings in Vedic astrology, because the mantra really empowers you. It brings that life force energy into your body, and really starts to help you awaken to what your personal destiny is, what your personal joy is, what your soul's greatest joy is in this life. It starts to awaken that. Or if you already know it, it gives you ways to express it even better. You know, it helps you out. And if anything, it just gives you more energy. It empowers you to keep that focus on your personal destiny. And, you know, that's why we're here, is to live out our personal destinies. So we need to, what we should be doing is empowering ourselves and living our personal destiny. When we do that, we put out that good vibe. You know, when we go out into the world, you know, it's an example to people who are not awakened on that level, you know. So where we want to try, and the best thing we can do for everybody is to follow our own soul's greatest joy. That helps to empower the whole world, you know. And Mother Earth feels it too. You know, she feels when you're on the right track, because she's been around for billions of years, you know. She is very aware of her physical body, and like us, she has an aura, and she can feel all of the little living things on her body, and she can feel where the spots on her body are off balance, way off balance. And that's usually like the cities, where there's a huge concentration of people that are focused on different things other than their soul's greatest joy. You know, they might think it's all about money. You know, they're caught up in their intellect instead of using the intellect and connecting it with the heart, you know, becoming aware on that level, you know, because we need the intellect too, you know, and we want to be down here enjoying our physical lives, you know. You know, the physical pleasures are here for us to enjoy too, you know. We want to just bring in that spirituality, just not that stereotypical spirituality that's out there. You know, a lot of it is BS, you know. You want to acknowledge our feelings. You want to own your feelings and have all of them, positive and negative. So that way you work through them, you know. When you don't express those negative ones, you store them in your unconscious, and it's not healthy. And you want to share your energy with somebody, you know, physically. You know, that's all good. There's nothing wrong with all that, you know. You see what happens to some of the priests in the Catholic religion when they don't express their sexuality, you know, they go a little crazy. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. And yeah, Mother Earth, you know, we gotta show some love back to her, because she helped give us these physical bodies. Everything around us is made from the natural resources of the earth. So, you know, we want to make sure that we love the mother back. That's all I wanted to say. Well, if anybody wants those readings, greg.thunderwizard.com. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace.